Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. Currently we are reading Nectar of Instruction and today we will move on Shloka 3. So let's start our session by offering the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kada Mayam Dadatin Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanch Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advait Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangu Langayate Giri Yat Krupataham Vande Sri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we will recite the first shloka 3 times, second shloka 3 times, then we will learn the third shloka. Okay. So in first shloka, what we learn is that we have to tolerate the 6 urges. Yes, we have to control the 6 urges, and then and in that there's urges of a body, urges of mind, na? And then we move to the second shloka that tells us by doing these are the 6 hindrances in our spiritual activity, spiritual life, and so we don't have to entangle in these 6 things. Okay. So and in third shloka we will learn that by executing these 6 things, these 6 principles, and we can be advanced in our pure devotional life. Okay. So Hare Krishna, who want to be volunteer to recite the shlokas?
Yes, Mataji.
First shloka.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Vacho vegam manusha krodha vegam jiva vegam udar upastha vegam etam vegam yo vishesth dhira sarvam opimam prithvim sa shishyat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Muttamanikam Prabhu.
Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udara upastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheda dhiraha sarvam abhivam prithvim sasishyat.
Hare Bol Prabhuji. Yes, Ritvika Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udharopastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhira sarvamapi mam prithivim sashyat.
Hare Bol Mataji. Yes, a sober person who can tolerate urge to speak by speaking only Krishna Katha. Okay. That mind's demand by always thinking how can I serve Krishna and how can I please Krishna, and the actions of anger by engage anger in Krishna's service as Hanuman and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, or urges of a tongue, belly, and genitals. If if we are able to control the urges of a tongue by simply taking prasadam, then belly and genitals will be like we can able to like control the urges of belly and genitals because they are in a straight line. If we control the urges of a tongue by taking prasadam, then rest will be taken care. Okay, second shloka. Who wants to recite?
May
Yes,
I,
Sarita
Mataji?
Mataji. Yes,
Hare
Snigdha
Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
अत्याहारप्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे
Yes, Snigdha
कृष्ण
Mataji.
अत्याहारः प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रहः जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यं च सद्भिर्भक्तिर्विनाश्यति हरि बोल
Hari Bol Prabhu. Hari Bol Mataji. Yes, Satyanarayan Prabhu.
कृष्ण माताजी अस्याकार प्रयासश्च प्रकल्पो नियमग्रहः जनसङ्गस्य लौलं च सप्तिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति हरे कृष्ण
Hari Bol Prabhuji. Yes. So in second slokas, like Rupa Goswami is saying us that like we don't have to too much entangle in following six things, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds required than necessary. Like this is atyahara, and even like if you are reading the scripture just to get the knowledge and like you are mentally speculating things, then it is also come under the atyahara. Okay, and like even if you want to merge in a brahmin and like even like you want to be a mayavadi, it also come under the uh, atyahara. And second is like if you want more and more possessions, then you have to work very hard for that. That is over endeavoring for the mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. This is the prayasa. And third is a talking unnecessary about a mundane subject matters. So like if you want to like lot of material things and like then you will work very hard for that, and like then you will meet only a person who is having the material consciousness. That is a jana sangha. Okay, so we don't have to talk with this material peoples. And like okay, like like we can talk with them, but like we shouldn't give our heart to them. Like uh, like we shouldn't like listen them with the whole heart. And four is the practicing scripture rules and regulation only for the sake of following them, not for the sake a sake of a spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of a scriptures and working independently or whimsically. So yes, like first thing is that like you want to do the sense gratification. That's why you are started accumulating. Second, to accumulate more and more, you are always anxious and you are working very hard. That is a prayasa. And third, like okay, you want to advance in this material things. So like you want to talk with the people and take their concerns. That is jana sangha. And third is like okay, you want to gratify your senses now. Like you want to help. You want to help from the demigods. So you are asking the gods, god and demigod, even krishna, the like krishna, like sense gratificatory things, so you get a lot of wealth and you can do proper sense gratification. So like you are following certain rules and regulation, but it is for a sense gratification to get a more wealth and to get a more sense gratification, not for advance in a spirituality. Okay, then finally associating with the worldly mind person who are not interested in a krishna consciousness. And six is being greedy for the mundane achievements. So like all of these things are related to sense gratification, and like here what we are like we can take out this point na, jana sangha means association. Here also it is saying that we don't have to we have to restrict ourselves from mixing with the mundane peoples or materialistic people. And in third sloka also, like there is one instruction that like abandoning the association of a non-devotees. Association is very important na, like to whom we associate, that is very important. So yes, now we can start reciting the third verse. Okay, and ussaha nischayat dhairyat tat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sangatyagat sato vritti shadbir bhakti prasiddhati. So we will go word by word. Okay, utsaha means by enthusiasm. And one day we feel very enthusiastic to chant like holy name, to read the Srila Prabhupada books, attend lectures, but next day everything that enthusiasm goes down. So in this shloka, Prabhupada tell us like how we can be enthusiastic all the time. Okay, then nishchayat, by confidence, dhairyat, by patience, tat karma, various activities favorable for a devotional service, pravartanat, by performing, sangatyagat, by giving up association of a non-devotees, satah, of a great previous acharyas, vrittihi, by following the footsteps, shadbir, by these six, bhaktihi, devotional service, prasiddhiti, advances or becomes successful. So yes, here is a satah means the great previous acharyas. Vrittihi means by following the footsteps. So we have to follow the footsteps of a great acharyas. So we will go through the translation, then we will recite the shloka, okay? There are 6 principles favorable for execution of a devotional service. First, being enthusiastic. Second, endeavoring with the confidence. And third, being patient. Fourth, acting according to the regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. 5. Abandoning the association of a non-devotees. 6. Following the footsteps of our previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure to complete the success of a pure devotional service. So, you can as we every time we do, like first we recite the 3 times first line, then second line, then we will recite the entire shloka. Okay. उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात्
उत्साहनिश्चयाद्धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात्
उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् जनसंगस्य संगत्यागा सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति विनय प्रसिद्धति संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्धति संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्धति उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्धति उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्धति प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्धति उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्धति Hare Krishna, like anyone wants to recite this shloka? Yes.
उत्साहानिश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्तेः तद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे बोल प्रभुजी.
उत्साहात्
Yes, Sarita Mata.
उत्साहात् निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्तिः षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसीद्यति।
हरि बोल
हरे
माता जी।
कृष्णा।
यस ऋत्विका माता जी।
उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्याघात सतो वृत्ति सद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति। हरे कृष्णा।
हरि बोल माता
हरे
जी। यस पूजा
हरे
माता
कृष्णा।
जी।
यस हरे कृष्णा। सादर प्रणाम। उत्साहात् निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति। हरे कृष्णा।
हरि बोल माता जी। यस मुरारी चैतन्य प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण माता उच्चान्निश्चया धैर्या तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागा सतो वृत्ते सर्वैर्भक्ति सिद्ध्यति।
हरि बोल प्रभु जी। यस दीप्ति साहू माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंड प्रणाम। उत्साह निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ते प्रसिद्ध्यति।
हरि बोल माता जी। यस शर्मिला माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण उत्साहान्निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति। थैंक यू माता जी। हरे कृष्ण।
हरि बोल माता जी। यस करुणा माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। उत्साह निश्चया धैर्य तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्याग सतो वृत्ते षड्भिर्भक्तिर प्रसिद्ध्यति। हरे कृष्ण
यस
माता जी।
पुनराज प्रभु। हरि बोल माता जी।
थैंक यू माता जी। उत्साहान् निश्चय धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तना संगत्याः सतो वृद्धि सद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति।
हरि बोल प्रभु जी। यस रस सागर श्री कृष्ण दास प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। उत्साहनिश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्तेः षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरि बोल। यस सुरेंद्र नाथ नारायण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। उत्साहान्निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् ततो वृत्तेः सद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति। हरे
हरि
कृष्ण।
बोल। यस नरसिम्हा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। उत्साहान्निश्चयात् धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृत्ते प्रसिद्ध्यति। हरे कृष्ण माता।
हरि बोल प्रभु जी। यस विनोद प्रभु। ओके सो एनीवन वांट्स टू
May
रीड?
I?
यस स्निग्धा माता जी। यस श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Purport. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 has defined devotional service as follows. Anyabhilasita sunyam jnana karmadhye andvratam nu anukullena krishnanu hilanam bhaktir uttama. Uttama Bhakti or unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other selfish desires. Bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some pseudo yogis teach. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service, and for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities, at least for the time being. Devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. Srila Prahlada Maharaja recommends Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam pada sevanam, archanam vandanam dasyam, sakhyam atma nivedanam. The 9 processes of devotional service are as follows. Number 1, hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2, chanting his glories. 3, remembering the Lord. 4, serving the Lord's feet. 5, worshipping the deity. 6, offering obeisances unto the Lord. 7, acting as the Lord's servant. 8, making friends with the Lord. 9, surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. Shravanam or hearing is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons, but should approach the proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasena sevaya upadekshati te jnanam jnanis tattva darshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Okay. So yes, so this like as Prabhupada is saying, this the spirituality means what people think that this is the some mental speculation or imaginative thing or some some mental speculation, some sentiment, but no. Like the devotional service is the science and it is a practical activity. Okay, like it means that like you shouldn't mentally speculate or like you in imagination you do the spiritual activity. No, but in reality you have to practice the instructions of spiritual master. And as the Srila Rupa Goswami says in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.11, Anyabhilashita Shanyam Jnana Karma Anavritam Anukule Krishnanushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. So like Uttam Bhakti means unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, like involves the rendering seva. The service is the service is the most important. Now, like you will get the realization when you serve. So like most important is a rendering service. Then only we can get the unalloyed devotion. And we are rendering service, then like we shouldn't have the motive. Okay, like if I serve the Krishna, then I will get some material benefits, or it should be like devoid of a fruitive activities, fruitive results. And it should be devoid of a impersonal jnana also and other selfish motives and desires. Okay, so like pure bhakti means only I have to serve Krishna. Like you shouldn't be you shouldn't do the service with the material motives and with the desires. Okay, our desire should be only to serve Krishna and only to please Krishna. Then Bhakti is a sort of a cultivation, and Prabhupada is saying the cultivation means must refer to the activity. So yes, you are reading, you are hearing, but like you should practically apply the things. Then only you can advance in a spirituality. Okay, and like Prabhupada said, like a spirituality doesn't mean to sit down idly and meditate. And like yes, this pseudo meditation is okay, but like not for the people who are on the path of a devotional service. So yes, as we see, the yoga or meditation means stopping all the nonsensical activities, or controlling our senses and mind by artificial means. And like how and the devotees they don't try to control their senses and mind artificially, but they engage their senses and mind in in meaningful Krishna service. So even like what is the highest goal of a meditation? That like they have to constantly remember Krishna in their heart, in a Vishnu, like a Chaturbhuj Vishnu in their heart. So what devotees do? They devotees already already remember Krishna, as Krishna says na man mana bhava mat bhakto. Like devotees 24/7 they remember Krishna. So the goal is achieved by simply by the devotional service. Then you don't have to go through the niyama like asana, pranayama. Okay, so like by following, as we read in a last persona, like for shloka 1 and shloka 2, like simply by following 4 regulative principles, you can surpass all these stages of a yoga. And like this bhakti yoga is easy path, but easy for whom? like who are very strict in following rules and regulation, who are very who are working sincerely in a path of devotion. And what Prahlad Maharaj is saying, okay, then we come to know, okay, by engaging our mind and senses in Krishna's service, like in this way we can engage our senses in Krishna. So like Prahlad Maharaj is saying how we can perform the bhakti: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And we can see now, like there are 12 cantos in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and seventh canto is it's fully dedicated to the Prahlad Maharaja. And like Narsimha Bhagwan is like a description about Narsimha Bhagwan is it's around 5 to 10%, like the but rest canto is for the Prahlad Maharaj, because through his action he shows us like how we should have a faith in Krishna and how we should perform the devotional activities. So these are the 9 processes to perform the devotional service. First is the hearing the name and glories of a supreme lord. When we hear about someone, then we will feel attractions, and like then we want to meet that person, and we want to know more and more. So first stage is a shravanam, means we have to hear. And second is a chanting his glories. And when we hear the main we hear our bhakti shastri classes, our Srimad Bhagavatam, but like we after some time we forgot what we have learned. So that time we have to make the notes, and like we have to keep revising the notes. And like whatever you hear in a Srimad Bhagavatam class, you have to go to 3 devotees and you have to tell them, okay, Mataji, Prabhuji, I have learned these things from this today's Bhagavatam class. When you pre-reach, when we glorify what you have here about the Krishna, then you will able to retain that with you, and you are also benefiting the other devotees now. So this is the key, like to remember like whatever you have here. So first is a shravanam, that you have to hear about glories about the Krishna and his name, form, leelas. Second is the chanting his glories, means kirtanam. We are chanting the holy name also, and doing the Bhagavad Katha and all of these things, like taking lectures, it also comes under the kirtanam. So chanting the glories. Then third is a remembering Krishna, and how devotees remember Krishna? Through his holy name, through his sound incarnation, by chanting the Hare Krishna. And fourth is the serving the Lord's feet. And we also as we always discuss in our sessions, that serving Lord's lotus feet means serving the Guru. When we serve the Guru, then Krishna is also pleased. And how we can what is the best way to serve Guru? By following his instructions. Okay. And 5 is a worshipping the deity. So like as we attend the Mangalarti and all of these things. So in a Vaishnav philosophy, we follow the 2 things. First is a Bhagavad Vidhi, that like what like a Shravanam, Kirtanam, all of these things. And second is a Pancharatra Vidhi. And as a Nama Prabhuji said in a last Bhagavatam class, this both Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavad Vidhi, both are important. Like when we are traveling, we cannot perform the Mangalarti, but at that time we can chant the holy names. So this 4 and 5, the serving the Lord's feet and like worshipping the deity, means Pada Sevanam and Archanam, comes under the Pancharatrika Vidhi. So we are not that much purified. So that's why like we should follow the Pancharatrika Vidhi very strictly. Okay. There are many rules and regulations, and we have to follow it. Then 6 is offering obeisances unto the Lord. And 7 is acting as the Lord's servant, that is a dasyam. And 8, making friends with the Lord, sakyam, and surrendering oneself in fully to the Lord. So this the example is a Bali Maharaj. He has given everything, also himself, to the Krishna. So yes, for the Shravanam, we can see the Parikshit Maharaj, he was hearing, and also the sages of Naini Sharanyana, they are hearing from the Sutta Goswami. And like chanting the glories for the Kirtanam, who is the example for the Kirtanam?
Dev Goswami.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Sukdev Goswami.
Yes, Sukdev Goswami. Like even the Vyasadeva, Brahmaji, and all other sages gathered to hear from him. And third is a remembering Lord. The Prahlad Maharaj's example, na, like he is remembering when he was like pushed from the mountain. Also, he threw in a boiling oil. Like he was they are crushing the Prahlad Maharaj under the under the feet of a mad elephant. That at that time also Prahlad Maharaj is remembering Krishna, Vishnu, and the serving the Lord's feet. Who was serving the Lord's feet or Pada Sevanam?
Lakshmi.
Yes, Lakshmi.
Lakshmi.
And the worshipping the deity, like who is the who is the devotee who is doing the archanam?
Prithu
Prithu
Maharaj.
Maharaj, na? Yes, Prithu Maharaj. Then offering obeisances to the Lord. Yes, Vandanam.
Akrura.
Yes, Akrura. And then acting as a Lord's servant.
Hanuman.
Yes, Hanuman. And we also see now like Hanuman how he used his anger in Krishna's service. Then making friends with the Lord. Arjuna. Na? And surrendering oneself, as we discussed, it's a Bali Maharaj. And Ambrish Maharaj is like is Acharya for all 9 devotional service. Na? So yes, the Shravanam or hearing is the first step to acquire the transcendental knowledge. And like when it comes to Shravanam, like can we hear from anyone? Like whimsically, can we hear from anyone? Or like should we listen from the bona fide spiritual master?
Bona fide. Yes, bona fide.
Yes. So we should hear from the bona fide spiritual master or someone who comes under the bona fide, like who is learning about the learning under the bona fide spiritual master, and who is from the Pramanic Sampradaya, and one who is following all rules and regulations. So like when we goes on YouTube and Instagram and other social media, like we shouldn't hear from someone like whimsically. We should know like okay who is his guru and like he is also following principles or not. So like we should try to hear from the ISKCON devotees like who are following all the rules and regulations, okay, and who are from the Pramanic Sampradaya. We don't have to mix the Sampradayas. Then like how we can get the knowledge, it is as stated in a Bhagavad Gita, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshanti jnanam jnanis tattva darshana. Like okay, to get the spiritual knowledge we should approach the bona fide spiritual master, and like we have to inquire him submissively. We don't have to ask him a challenging questions, and we can we can ask question when we render service to him. So like how we can render service to spiritual master in his instruction. Until and unless you are not following like you are not following his instruction, you are not qualified to ask him questions, okay. And you know like I was hearing about a lecture of one acharya, like he was saying that like you have to, in starting you have to render service to your spiritual master for the 10 years, and like after rendering service to the 10 years, then like you can ask him questions. The first is the service. And what is our problem? We don't want to serve now. We want everyone should serve us, but we don't want to serve. No, like we have to serve the spiritual master by following his instruction, following 4 regulatory principles, chanting 16 rounds, reading Srila Prabhupada books. Nama Prabhuji said at least for 1 hour. And like also Prabhupada said na, like you should get benefit, like you should take the benefit of reading my books. I'm rendering like I'm laboring so hard for you, convincing word by word. And like you shouldn't you don't have to take the benefit of eating sleeping, okay. So yes, like we have to follow the instruction, and then only we can ask the questions. And the questions should be like inquiry should be submissive, not in a challenging spirit. Then like you know the self-realized souls like our acharyas, they can give you knowledge because they already seen the truth, like they already know the knowledge, so they can give you. So I think like from it's further recommended we can cover from tomorrow, okay. So Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So please try to memorize the verse, and yeah, please try to memorize the verse. And also like if you get some time you can revise the like rest of purports na. And it's about the following na, like we will also see in further now, like firstly, okay, we are getting knowledge, then it's like we also have to implement these things. So please try to try to implement. And this one thing that like we have to give up the association of a non-devotees, or like we have to give up the association of material things. It has repeating in the both shlokas. That's why I get confused. So just like in the first shloka, it says na jana sangasta lavlyam cha. When we associate with the material peoples, like we also get the material desires, and we also get the greedy. And here it is yet sanga tyaga satavritti. So like we have to give up the association of a material people. So like we can learn from this na, like association is very important. Like we have to associate with the devotees. And like if you don't have the devotees near you, you have the Srila Prabhupada books. And what Srila Prabhupada said, I will be stay there forever through my books. So like through his books we can associate with the Srila Prabhupada. And so please try to read the Srila Prabhupada books. You have to take out the time, and this is the real tapasya, na? Like we have to do the austerity. Prabhupada says this human life is for austerity, human life is for tapasya, and you should ready to do the tapasya. So like even to achieve anything material, you have to do a lot of tapasya. So in the spiritual life also, you have to do the tapasya. Spiritual life is not so cheap, okay? So yes, like like I will tell you the one example. I have one friend like who studies all the rules and regulation for the laws also, and for everything, like even for the traffic there are rules and regulations. They study all the rules and regulation, but like when it comes to the spiritual life, they says, oh, why you have to follow all the rules and regulation, and why you have to learn all the rules and regulation. So in material life we study, we follow everything, but when it comes to spiritual life we start asking the questions. But this is not a thing. Our acharya is saying you have to follow, then like you shouldn't ask the challenging question, you have to simply follow. So please try to please follow the regulative principles, chant your 16 rounds, attend the mangalarti, and then at least try to read for the 30 minutes. Then like you can expand, like even you are find hard to read for the 30 minutes, you can start read for the 5 minutes, then expand it to 10 minutes or then 15 minutes. Then like you can take the baby step, then you can reach to the 1 hour. And devotees say like they don't have the taste in reading. So like in starting you won't have the taste, but you have to daily, you have to make as we take the prasadam daily. So we have make the habit to take the prasadam at particular time. So you have to make the habit to read. And when you give the more time to something, you will fall in love with that. So similarly, when you give the time for reading, then with the time you will have the interest, and you will have the taste, because that the books will bless you. The Rupa Goswami will bless you, Srila Prabhupada will bless you, then you will develop the taste. So Hare Krishna, please engage yourself in a more and more Krishna conscious activities. You have to do the prescribed duties, but you have to take out the time for Krishna. Okay. So Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Happy Krishna Conscious Day. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Ji,
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.